be showing you how to make these beautiful flower granny squares that I'm putting together in a cardigan. I am actually following a pattern. I got it from Jillian Nestor on, where did I find this one? On Etsy. So you can find this one. It's her sunflower cardigan pattern, but instead of making it as a sunflower, I'm doing it more like a daisy. So I am going to be using a 5mm crochet hook, and I have my scissors here. And since I am doing it as a daisy, I do have, I love this yarn in, what color is this? Yellow. In the same brand, I am also using white, but my yarn has started to fall apart since I've used so much of it. And I also have the pink color. I cannot remember which brand this is. It doesn't feel like it's the same as the I Love This yarn, so I don't think that's what it is. But I know it's not Red Heart Super Saver. But I'm sorry, I don't know which one that is. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I am going to be pulling my yarn from my left side. Just have everything else here. We are going to start with the very center of our flowers. Right here, this yellow circle. Have that off to the side. So we are going to do the magic circle. So the way I do it is I take the yarn, wrap it around 2 fingers, and let it crisscross. I go under and over, and then I'm going to, oops, sorry, I went off camera. Around, crisscross, under this one, over, pull it through, yarn over, and pull through. Oops, I split my yarn a little bit. There you go. Oops, and I tied a knot over here. There you go. Okay. So I have my loop. I'm going to yarn over, go into the loop, yarn over and pull through. So now I have 3 on there, and I'm doing half double crochet, so I'm going to pull through all 3 loops. So that's 1. I'm going to make 12 of these. Yarn over, in the loop, pull another loop through, yarn over, pull through 3. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. And we're going to go all the way to 12. All right, so now that I have 12 on them on here, that's what it looks like. I'm going to take the tail and I'm going to start pulling it to close that circle. And I don't want it to have a gap in there, so I pulled it all the way tight. Now I'm going to go to the top of that first one that we made. Just right here, it's going to be slanted. And I'm going to go in. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and I'm going to take that loop and pull through there. That is a slip stitch. And I'm going to pull through again to tie it off. And now we have the center done. So I'm going to make 4 more of these because that's how many more I need for my project. And I'll get back to you. All right, so I've gone ahead and made the 5 more that I need for my pattern. Now we're going to go ahead and work on this inner flower circle. So we're actually going to do the petals. Now, one thing that I did on mine that I didn't follow from the pattern was that I did pull the magic circle all the way tight to where it closed in the center. Let me show you the picture again. As you can see here, she left the holes more open in her pattern, but since I did want mine to look more like a daisy, I went ahead and I closed mine up. And another thing she did as well was to chain one in between each petal, but I kind of like how tight it is, so I went ahead and I took out the chain one. So it's going to depend on your preference. Oh, and she also had added in the next color or switch colors while doing this, where I wanted to tie mine off. It just makes it a lot easier since I'm making all the centers first, then doing all my petals, and then going around to do the borders. Let's go ahead and get started on my next one. So in order to do this, I'm going to start off with a slip knot. Let me show you how to do that again. So what I do is I have the shorter end here go around my fingers, and short ends here. I'm going to grab the long tail and pull it through. Next, I'm going to start before my knot. Pull it tight, pull through, and we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. All right, sorry, I was tightening that up. So now I like to take the tails that are at the top and make sure I'm holding them so I can work around them. On this one, I did a pretty good job of hiding them, but on my first few, I have a ton of tails hanging out, which just makes it going to be a lot more work weaving in my ends. So I'm trying to save myself the trouble by making sure these guys are already in. All right, so we're going to yarn over, and we're going to do a bobble stitch. So I'm going to go straight back into that same one I already pulled through from. Pull through. Oops, caught that knot. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 of my loops. And pull it up. So I still have 2 on here. Yarn over, go into that same one. Pull through a loop. Pull through 2 loops. Now I have 3. Yarn over into that same stitch, grab the yarn, go through 2 loops. Now I have 4. I'm going to do, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those. That's 4 stitches in there. I chain 1 to close it off. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go through this one right here. So this is where my knot's at. So instead of going right here, I'm actually going to go into this one. Right. So again, I gotta make sure I've got my tails in there. Pull through 2. That's 1. Yarn over. 2. And this time I'm counting how many stitches I'm doing. I need 4 in order to complete the bobble. So that's 3 stitches. That's 4. So I have 4 stitches plus the chain over here. So I'm going to pull through all 5 of those loops. Chain 1 to close it. So now I have 2 petals. I'm going to go all the way around, working 1 into each one of these for a total of 12 petals. I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so now I've completed my 12 petals, and I'm going to come into this loop right here at the top is where I'm going to join in. Go in on the 2 loops. Sorry, my yarn was in front of me. Okay, so yarn over, pull through, and tie it off. And again, on the pattern itself, it did say to, on that last loop that I pulled through, to change colors, but because I'm going to go ahead and do all of them at once, I am just fastening it off. And you don't have to make as much of a tail as I do. I like working with longer tails just because it's easier for me to one weave in at the end and also to crochet over the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 more, and then I'll meet you back when I go to do the pink.